Hi, and welcome back. Because I got such positive reviews the last time I did one of these, mostly from those of you who were supposed to be studying or doing homework, I thought I would do part 2 of random facts about the human body. I will say that I have not actively fact-checked these. That being said, I am a real doctor. So, let's see how many of these I can pick out as incorrect. I hope most of them are right, but we'll just see. Let's jump in. A woman's sense of smell is keener than that of a man. I feel like I read that somewhere, but I don't know where. People recall smells with 65% accuracy after a year, while the visual recall of photos sinks to about 50% after only 3 months. The sense of smell is stronger in many ways than the sense of sight. Your ring finger is the weakest finger because it shares a flexor muscle with the middle and little fingers. The color of a human skin is determined by the level of pigment, melanin, that the body produces. Every square inch of the human body has about 12 million skin cells. It's a lot of skin cells. Humans use molars to grind their food, just like every other animal that has molars. There are no pain receptors in your brain, so your brain can't actually feel its own pain. Pretty cool part of the brain. Every time you recall a new memory or have a new thought, you are creating a new neural connection in your brain. Your ribs move about 5 million times a year. Every time you breathe. Varicose veins are more common in men than in women. Each half square inch of skin has about 10 hairs, 15 sebaceous glands, 100 sweat glands, and 3.2 feet of blood vessels. The gallbladder stores bile, used to break down dietary fat. Teeth are kept alive by blood and nerves. Your ring finger is the only finger that cannot be extended fully and separately. The wrinkles on the back of the finger knuckles are actually dimples and mark areas where skin is attached to the tendon beneath the skin. I didn't know that. Interesting. Vision is learned and continues to develop from birth into adulthood. You can actually train your peripheral vision. It's kind of cool. Your eyeballs are actually part of your brain. That's true. Cranial nerve 2, or the optic nerve, goes from your brain right out to your eyeballs. If saliva can't dissolve something, you can't taste it. The pancreas produces digestive juices and helps control blood sugar. It's insulin that controls the blood sugar. The cerebellum contains half of all neurons in the brain, but only comprises 10% of the brain. It's true. The brain feels like a ripe avocado and looks pink because of the blood flowing through it. I've felt a few brains in my day. It's true. Vision can often be the basis of poor hand-eye coordination, motion sickness, and clumsiness. It's fair. The slowest speed at which information travels between neurons is about 260 miles per hour. Throughout every day and night of our lives, we smell a wide variety of odors without being aware of them at all. It's kind of like if you drive home, 1,000 times, and all of a sudden you notice something that you've never noticed before. Can't decide if it's new or it's been there. It's probably been there. You just never paid attention to it. Our hair turns gray as we age because the pigment cells in the hair follicle, responsible for producing melanin, start to die. Bummer. Optimists live longer and are less likely to get sick than pessimists. Your brain is much more active at night than during the day. If you think about it, when your brain uses energy, uses glucose, breaks stuff down for energy, it leaves behind byproducts and waste products. Your body has to actually get rid of all that stuff and repair and make new connections, short-term to long-term memory, etc. It's true. That's why sleep is good. Every day, the average person loses about 100 strands of hair. A sneeze can exceed the speed of 100 miles per hour. An average person breathes around 11,000 liters of air every day. It's about 4,000 gallons. It's a lot of air. There are an estimated 3 billion DNA bases in our genome. Your trachea is lined with cilia, which clears fluids and particles out of our airway so that they can stay out of the lungs. It's true. That's why you cough stuff up. The cilia brings it up. Men sweat 40% more than women. Anecdotal evidence suggests that's accurate, but I don't know. On average, babies double their birth weight by 4 months and triple it after 1 year. The liver aids in digestion and detoxification of food, impurities, and inspects nutrients before allowing them into the bloodstream. Twins do not have to be born on the same date. In fact, they can be born days apart. Twins actually has to do with how the egg is fertilized and not the timing by which they are born. An individual blood cell takes about 60 seconds to make a complete circuit around the body. Your eyes are always the same size from birth, but your nose and your ears never stop growing. Oh man. No two people smell the same odor in the same way. This is true. Just like The colors that you see are not the same colors that I see. What appears blue to me might be purple or green to you. And the beautiful part is, we'll never know. From the age of 30, humans gradually begin to shrink in size. That's sad. A cough releases an explosive charge of air that moves at speeds up to 60 miles per hour. Bones are 4 times stronger than concrete. I didn't know that. Baby teeth are actually called milk teeth. Given that I'm not a pediatrician, I feel okay in not knowing that either. The liver affects nearly every physiological process of the body and performs over 500 different chemical functions. 2 million red blood cells die every second. Your brain stores different parts of a memory in different locations. It takes your mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, gallbladder, pancreas, and liver just to digest a glass of milk. The little lump of flesh just forward of your ear canal, right next to your temple, is called a tragus. How many of you just went looking for it? Your pancreas is located by your stomach and near the small intestine. Each kidney weighs approximately 4 to 6 ounces. Your spinal cord stops growing when you're about 5 years old. A newborn baby's brain grows almost 3 times in the first year. So like 3x bigger, not just on 3 days it grows. Gotta specify that one. Your tongue is the strongest muscle in your body. A child's heart size is approximately the size of one clenched fist on an adult hand. If you're an adult, both clenched fists. Your liver is 96% water. While you sleep, your body produces a hormone that prevents you from acting out your dreams, leaving you virtually paralyzed. And in some people, that effect lingers after they wake up. Human bones account for only 14% of the body's total weight. Hundreds of different kinds of enzymes are needed to properly digest food. It's true, and these enzymes come from the pancreas, the liver, the stomach, salivary glands, all over the place. If you are snoring, you are not dreaming. I did not know that. And I don't know if it's true. It would be pretty cool if it is, though. All different varieties of food we eat are broken down by our digestive system and transported to every part of our body by our circulatory system. Yes, that is how that works. Your ears convert sound waves into nerve impulses that are sent to your brain. This is just vibrations going into your ears. Your brain translates it all. Close to 50% of the bacteria in your mouth lives on the surface of your tongue. Your spinal cord can work independently of your brain, sending out responses to your muscles directly. This is true, and it's a pretty cool part of the spinal cord. If you've ever mistakenly put your hand on a hot stove and you jerk it away, it's because the impulse went to your spine, and your spine recognizes that as bad and jerked you back before it could get to your brain. One human hair can support 3 kilograms, or about 7 pounds. It's a lot of weight for a little hair. Women have approximately 4.5 liters of blood in their body, while men on average have about 5.6. On average, men are also bigger, so that makes sense. Your thumb is controlled by 9 individual muscles, which are controlled by all 3 major hand nerves. If all the blood vessels in your body were laid end to end, they would reach about 60,000 miles. I would imagine more if you're a bigger person. The kidneys reabsorb and redistribute 99.1% of blood volume, and only about 0.1% of the blood filtered becomes urine. Where does the other 0.9% go? I wonder if that's a typo. People whose mouth has a narrow roof are more likely to snore because they have less oxygen going through their nose. Half of your body's red blood cells are replaced every 7 days. I don't think that's accurate, because the lifespan of a red blood cell is about 120 days. The fastest growing nail is on your middle finger. Ironic. Reading aloud and talking often to a young child promotes proper brain development. Always gotta stimulate the kiddos. Your upper arm bone is called the humerus, otherwise known as the funny bone. Humerus, the bone, and humorous, meaning funny, are spelled differently, but they are homonyms. It takes the food 7 seconds to get from your mouth to your stomach. The living organisms and bacteria in your digestive system are essential to vitamin production and protecting you from infections. That's true. There are so many bacteria in your gut, and we would be extinct without them. Women blink twice as much as men. If all your DNA was unwound and stretched out, it would reach to the moon 6,000 times. The attachment of human muscles to skin is what causes dimples. The pupil of your eye expands as much as 45% when you look at something pleasing. I wonder if it shrinks if you look at something gross. In the mouth, food is either cooled or warmed to a more suitable temperature. A similar concept happens when you breathe through your nose. Humans have 46 chromosomes. One chromosome can have as little as 50 million base pairs, or as many as 250 million base pairs. I fixed the grammar in that one. Women's hair is about half the diameter of men's hair. I would have no idea why. On each day, 400 gallons of recycled blood are pumped through the kidneys. That's a lot. There are anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 synapses for each neuron. All those neurons gotta talk to each other. The average male will eat about 50 tons of food during his lifetime in order to sustain a weight of 150 pounds. That sounds like a challenge. Within the colon, a typical person harbors more than 400 distinct species of bacteria. 80% of the world's population will suffer from back pain due to a problem starting in their feet. Children under the age of 6 are at the greatest risk for crushing or burning injuries of the hand. People with wet earwax have more unpleasant armpit odor compared to those with dry earwax. I don't know who paid to have that study done, but I want names because I'm angry. A DNA fingerprint is a set of DNA markers that is unique for each individual, except for identical twins. If stretched out, the cerebral cortex would be about 2.5 square feet, the area of a night table. Infants blink only once or twice per minute, while adults average around 10. I wonder if that's because the visual cortex and or the eyes haven't fully developed yet, so they don't know that they need to. Most babies start to recognize words when they're about 10 months old. But still, talk to your kids. A yellow coating on your tongue means that you may have a stomach problem. It may mean that you have a lot of problems. It takes twice as long to lose new muscle if you stop working out than it did to gain it. It makes me feel better. Your spleen's main function is to act as a filter. The liver filters over 1 liter of blood each minute. A person's front teeth are called incisors. I hope that's enough learning for you today, because I'm going to stop here. Frankly, because I'm tired and I hope you are too. Be well.